Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV's Primetime News. My name is Irebami Salako. We begin with headlines. Nigerian Senate selects Danladi Umar as the chairman of Code of Conduct Tribunal (CCT). Plus, on the news, federal government announces the dissolution of the Governing Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra State, following the grave breaches of law governing the university. From the international scene, U.S. and some other Western embassies in Kyiv stay closed for security reasons, with the American delegation saying it received warnings of potential significant Russian air attack on Kyiv. Details of these and more coming your way soon. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now, details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has approved the dissolution of the Governing Council of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Awka, Anambra State, and the removal of Professor Bernard Ifeanyi Odo, the new Vice-Chancellor, and Rosemary Ifeoma Nwohike, the Registrar. The council, led by Ambassador Greg Ozumba Mbadiwe, included 5 other members: Afiz Oladejo, Augustine Uyebedelu, and Engineer Amilore Osahon, and retired General Funsho Oyeneyi. The sacking of the Governing Council and officials followed reports that the council illegally appointed an unqualified Vice-Chancellor without following due process. Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, in a statement said the government expressed concern over the Council's apparent disregard for university governing laws in its selection process. In the same vein, President Tinubu also approved the removal of Engineer Oyeku Mohammed Salami as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Federal University of Health Sciences in Otukpo, Benue State. The decision followed Salami's illegal actions, including suspending the Vice-Chancellor without following the prescribed procedures. Despite the Federal Ministry of Education's call for unlawful suspension of the revoked Engineer, Salami refused to comply. Instead, he resorted to abusive and threatening behavior towards the ministry's director, including the permanent secretary. President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate swap of Pro-Chancellors and Chairmen of the Governing Councils for the Federal University of Oye-Ekiti and Federal University Lokoja. In this reshuffling, Senator Victor Ndoma Egba, currently serving as the Pro-Chancellor of Federal University Lokoja, will take over at Federal University Oye-Ekiti. Engineer Kayode Ojo, who previously held a similar position at Oye-Ekiti, will assume the role in Lokoja. Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, in a statement stressed the strategic change is part of President Tinubu's initiative to foster diversity and national cohesion and the management of the country's universities. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday sacked Danladi Umar as the chairman of Code of Conduct Tribunal (CCT). The lawmakers, after a closed-door session, reconvened and invoked Section 157, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended to officially remove Umar as the CCT boss, citing allegations of misconduct. Correspondent Kolojo reports that the Senate held that it had become imperative to remove because his actions were unbecoming and his level of gross misconduct is no longer acceptable. Umar's removal will now pave the way for the official resumption of Abdullahi Bello as the new substantive chairman of the tribunal. 84 senators had signed in favor of his removal following deliberations on a motion by leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele.
Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, the Senate resolves to invoke and activate the constitutional provision as enshrined in Section 157, subsection 1, by forwarding an address supported by 2/3 majority of the Senate, which shall be acted upon by Mr. President for the official removal from office of Mr. Yakubu Danladi Umar as the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal.
The motion was adopted by the upper legislative chamber after it was put to a vote by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Umari was chair of the tribunal when Tinubu was charged with operating foreign bank accounts contrary to the constitution. He was cleared of the charges.
And I've noted here that we have the quorum to invoke section 157 subsection 1, removing the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal from office for misconduct and for acts unbecoming of the holder of such an office. I've also noted from your contributions that ample opportunities were given to him to defend himself, and he appeared, and in his opinion, he did not need to continue any defense of himself.
Still with the Red Chambers, the Nigerian Senate has commended the military for their prompt response to attacks carried out by Lokarawa terrorists in some communities in Kebbi State and part of the Northwest, urging the military to collaborate with local communities to establish early warning systems to detect future incursion. The Red Legislative Chamber equally urged them to maintain vigilance in the affected areas to stop the problem from escalating into other parts of the country. These resolutions were reached on Wednesday in plenary after a debate on a motion sponsored on the floor by Senator representing Kebbi North Abdullahi Yahya.
On the urgent need for the federal government to take stringent measures to stop the infiltration of a group of violent terrorists known as Lakurawa from entrenching themselves in some northwestern parts of Sokoto and Kebbi states. Senate is aware that a group of terrorists from neighboring Burkina Faso and Mali, known as Lakurawa, has infiltrated the country through the Nigeria-Niger border at Ilela, Tangaza, Silami local government areas of Sokoto state, and are there.
Senators warned that failure to act decisively could allow the Lokarawa group to expand its operation, spreading terror to other parts of the northern Nigeria and potentially threatening national stability.
If you recall that banditry started in Zamfara state, and about 9 years ago, nobody thought that it would spread to neighboring states. But we didn't take immediate measures to arrest the situation. And gradually, it spread to neighboring states of Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, and even beyond, even Niger state. So this Lakurawa movement is a terrorist movement. They came from Mali. They control the whole of northern Mali.
Mr. President, I support all the prayers of this motion. We need to nip this in the bud. It is too serious for us to allow to take it lightly, because these people are well armed with sophisticated weapons, and I believe they even have some international connections. Therefore, there is a need for the government of Nigeria to take this matter very, very seriously.
After contributions by lawmakers on the matter, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, stressed the need for citizens to continually collaborate with security agencies to nip terrorist activities in the bud.
For bringing this motion, and this is the way it starts. And if it is not nipped in the bud, it will spread terror across many parts of this country. So I also want to use this opportunity, because from the body of your motion, you pointed out that the Nigerian military moved swiftly and they were able to dislodge them from the communities that they killed people and occupied. And so where we commend the military, we want the military to continue to maintain their presence in those regions in order to forestall a further incursion into the country. of this terrorist group.
Now to the Green Chambers. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill for an act to ensure adequate funding for mineral resources exploration and extraction through public-private partnership. Sponsor of the bill, Honorable Larry Okunlola, member representing Surulere 2 Federal Constituency, Lagos State, while leading the debate during plenary, explained that the aim of the bill is to ensure the mining industry reaches its full potential. Honorable Okunlola said that the partnership will reduce the nation's dependence on oil and will boost the economy as well as create job opportunity.
This bill is to ensure that our mining sector reaches its full potential, creating jobs and fostering economic growth and strengthening our country's self-sufficiency in mineral resources. Mr. Speaker, the objective of this bill is to bring the private sector expertise and for effective and efficient mineral resource industry.
Members, while contributing to the debate, commended the sponsor of the bill, noting that the bill will boost the value of the nation's economy as the untapped mineral resources in the country is more than 80%. Following further debate, the Speaker of House, Tajudeen Abbas, after calling for voice vote, which meant to the House majority, referred the bill to the Committee on Solid Mineral Development for further legislative input. Meanwhile, a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to provide voting rights for Nigerians in diaspora and for related matter is also passed for second reading. The bill was sponsored by the House Speaker, Honorable Abbas Tajudeen, and the Member of House, Honorable Siddiq Ango Abdullahi.
By design, government is not designed to do any business. It has been a practice all over the world that private companies or private partnership works, particularly in tapping the untapped mineral resources all over the world. In other words, the private sector may have the skills, the know-how, and everything to tap the mineral resources, but may not have the financial resources to do that.
Mining industry, we had much value to our economy. Mr. Speaker, this bill in Zimbabwe, there is an arrangement like this. We can as well do better because we have abundant mineral resources lying fallow, untapped.
The House of Representatives has directed the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Federal Ministry of Finance to immediately refund the 50% deduction made from the Nigerian Shippers Council's NSC account. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance raised by Honorable Hamada Mohammed, who noted that the Federal Ministry of Finance had deducted 50% of the Council's account balance in December 2023 under the 2021 Finance Act. He said that while similar deductions from other agencies have been refunded, the Nigerian Shippers Council is yet to receive its reimbursement. Honorable Mohammed expressed concern that the non-release and delay in refunding the funds have caused significant operational challenges for the Council, including difficulties in paying staff salaries and retirees' entitlement.
Well, that the Federal Ministry of Finance deducted 50% of Council's account balance in December 2023 under the provisions of the 2021 Finance Act, while similar deductions from other agencies have been refunded. The Nigeria Shippers Council has that the Federal Ministry of Finance has been slow and inconsistent in releasing the 2% portion of the 7% port development levies surcharge allocated to the Council, resulting in delayed and insufficient funding.
In a related development, the House also urged the Federal Ministry of Power to declare electricity distribution companies (DISCOs) as non-state actors and take immediate steps to address the alleged reckless action which poses a threat to the nation's economy. The lawmakers further recommended the recapitalization of these schools, requiring a minimum of 500 billion naira in financial capacity, adding that only operators with the financial strength to provide satisfactory services to consumers should be allowed to continue operations. Honorable Isiaka expressed worry over the sabotage of economic growth caused by these schools, where essential services are manipulated against citizens rather than serving them.
Also notes that Nigerian consumers paid for electricity meters and installations, but these schools now demanding additional payment for replacement of the same meters under dubious pretenses, undermining consumer trust and exacerbating financial.
Order, please.
You'll see lots of the news on Galaxy TV coming up next. INEC presents certificates of return to Ondo State Governor-elect Lucky Aiyedatiwa and Deputy Governor-elect Owolabi Olaide Adelami. Details of that and more coming after the break. This is the Plus. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Inspector General of Police and the Nigerian Police Service Commission have been ordered to pay police constabularies about 4 years' salary arrears being owed them since 2021. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, which issued the order, directed that each of the constabularies be paid 54,566 naira per month from January 2021 to May 2024. Correspondent Koleojo reports that Justice Rekiya Astrap gave the order on Wednesday while delivering judgment in a suit instituted by the constabularies against the IGP and the Police Service Commission. The plaintiffs, who were trained and engaged in community policing through intelligence gathering and through their lawyer Sebastian Onsan, issued the police for refusing to pay their monthly stipends despite making them serve the nation diligently for the past 4 years. The constabularies alleged the action of police in denying them the stipends was not only unlawful but had put their lives in jeopardy, as they could no longer meet with basic needs of life. Besides, they claimed that due to the hazardous nature of the jobs, 7 of their members have already died. Responding to the judgment, counsel to the constabularies and Sebastian Onsan appealed to President Bola Tinubu to order the IGP to pay the constabularies owing to the service they are rendering to the country.
Mental and employment rights of these officers. They were employed, trained and retained, and they are still serving the Nigerian police force as police constabularies. And the authorities have refused to pay their salaries. Funnily enough, they claim that they are rendering voluntary services when the Police Act has provisions for them.
The Federal Court sitting in Port Harcourt has adjourned to 10th December 2024 for hearing a matter brought before it by Speaker of River State House of Assembly Victor Okojumbo and 2 others who are seeking for interpretation of the defection of Martins Omewule and 26 others who abandoned the party PDP that sponsored the election for the APC. According to Section 109 subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which automatically disqualifies them from membership of the House. Speaking with newsmen outside the court premises, lawyers gave details.
Very simple. It is something known by everyone all over the world. Our position is simple, that these persons voluntarily came out and told the world that they had defected. As a matter of fact, we saw it on Channels TV, saw it on TVC, and we have now come here to tell the court that, look, haven't done that, they should vacate the seat so that INEC can conduct a by-election where everybody, including Labour Party, will contest.
And what happens most times is that you court will usually take the preliminary applications before they get to the substantive matter. So what happened today was exactly so. Court needed to trash out the issues before it gets into the substantive matter.
Still on court matters, the Inspector General of Police has filed criminal charges against Anambra State former governorship candidate Senator Andy Uba for allegedly defrauding an applicant for the post of Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) to the tune of 400 million naira. Senator Andy Uba is to be arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja, along with Crystal Chidinma Uba, Benjamin Elu, and one RGF Fatima, for allegedly swindling one Dr. George Ubo of 400 million naira on the false pretense of securing the appointment of the Managing Director of NDDC for him. In the charge, the Inspector General of Police alleged that the former governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC) conspired with other defendants and allegedly made a false claim that he had perfected way to an appointment of the NDDC MD to an interested person who can offer the huge sum. In the process, Dr. George Ubo was said to have fallen victim of the alleged false claim by transferring 400 million naira into tranches into the bank account supplied by Senator Andy Uba. The Inspector General of Police listed 8 witnesses comprising George Ubo as the complainant and investigative police operatives and 4 Bureau d'Change operators to testify against the senator and his co-defendants. Meanwhile, Justice Inyang Edem Eko has fixed the arraignment for February 10, 2025. Now to the story teased earlier. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has presented certificates of return to Ondo State Governor-elect Lucky Ayedatiwa and Deputy Governor-elect Owolabiola Adelami. The presentation ceremony took place at the INEC headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. The certificates were presented by the National Commissioner supervising Ondo State, Kunle Ajayi. In his remarks, Ajayi stated that the governorship election portrayed the will and administration of the people of Ondo State. He appreciated the voters in the electorate for their conduct during the election, which he described as free, fair, and credible.
The issuance of certificates of return is not merely a ceremonial act. It is a constitutional obligation under Section 72, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, which mandates INEC to issue certificate of return to the elected governor and the elected deputy governor having conducted a free, fair, credible, and inclusive election. And this symbolizes the official acknowledgement of the mandate conferred by the good people of Ondo State on the 16th November 2024.
In his acceptance speech, Governor Adedatiwa expressed gratitude to the people of Ondo State for casting their votes for him and finding him worthy to govern the affairs of the state. He pledged to run an inclusive government and also provide a level playing ground for all in the state.
Once again, to the good people of Ondo State, the mandates you have just renewed via your huge votes across the 18 local government offices, where we won convincingly. It has placed a burden on me to be able to serve you better than I have in the last 10 months.
Not to other stories, Nigeria's total external debt stood at 56.02 trillion naira in first quarter of 2024, while total domestic debt was at 65.65 trillion naira. Nigeria hosts countries like China, France, Germany, Japan, and multilateral institutions like the World Bank, International Monetary Fund (IMF), and the country is still borrowing non-stop. This may not be good for the nation's economy because the loans have no impact on socio-economic realities of the nation. Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph has more in this report.
Debt servicing costs 63.56% of Nigeria's $5.63 billion foreign payments in 2024. The servicing has emerged as a significant component of Nigeria's foreign payment obligations in 2024. Accounting for a staggering 63.56% of the total $5.63 billion in foreign payments in 9 months. Debt service can divert resources away from the debtor's country. An increase in public debt can decrease net savings, lead to higher interest rates, and slow the growth of capital stock.
The moment you keep borrowing money to do so many things, you will end up mortgaging this country. And it is so unfortunate because the future generations will be the ones that will bear the brunt of the activities of this government. The future generations, the children that are now growing up, are the ones that the weight of these debts will be on their neck.
At the moment, I'm aware that we now service, as at the last statistics that we have, we now service debt with about, I think, over the past, between January and September or so, we spent about $3.58 billion servicing debt, which will be close to 3-4 trillion naira. While the national budget is about 20-something trillion, right? So when we spend that much servicing debt, you can understand why there is so much less to spend on basic services, on education, on healthcare.
As it is, external debt has no significant or positive impact on economic growth in Nigeria.
For an economy like ours, for an economy that is struggling to survive, debt is not the right way to development. We are in fact in a debt trap, so that the more you make, the more you spend servicing the debt, and before you are done servicing the debt, there is more debt accruing. It's a trap. You never get out of it. So it's not something that should be encouraged. It's not.
If you want to borrow money, it must be to execute capital projects, enduring capital projects that will stand the test of time, that even the generations that will now pay back the loan will enjoy those facilities. Not to borrow money to buy luxurious vehicles and borrow money to enjoy traveling up and down, borrowing money to live luxurious life. That is what we are talking about.
Effects of external debt include slower economic growth, stock market instability, and can increase countries' currency vulnerability. From Lagos, this is Lebi Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Not to security, the acting chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has officially handed-delivered the reins of the Infantry Corps to Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Lieutenant General Oluyede emphasized the critical role of the infantry in ensuring the success of the army. Addressing journalists after the handing over, General Oluyede, the acting chief of Army Staff, urged the new commander to maintain the high standards of the Corps and prioritize intensive training programs to prepare soldiers for field operations. He reassured Nigerians of the Army's commitment to improving security under his leadership.
So he needs to move the infantry forward, embark on massive training. So for the criminals out there, they should be ready for a good run from us, because we're going to go out all out for them. And for Nigerians, we'll try as much as possible to make Nigeria more secure.
While also addressing officers and soldiers, he highlighted the importance of bravery and discipline, calling on junior commanders to exemplify leadership.
They are coming, they are cowards. So you don't need to run from them. You have been trained to face this kind of challenges. So this morning I've come to promise you that everything that has to do with your welfare, I'm going to confront it headlong. But on your part, you must do your work. Is that clear?
Still in Northern Nigeria, Iowa Consultative Forum have welcomed the establishment of a new Northern group, the League of Northern Democrats, led by former Governor of Kano State, Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, insisting that the L&D be built with all verticals that would benefit the Northern region. Chairman of the ACF and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mamman Mike Usman, said that this during his opening remarks at the National Executive Committee meeting of the Forum in Kaduna on Wednesday. He added that the North is currently under siege. According to him, the Northern region is not only being viciously attacked by bandits, terrorists and kidnappers, but by sinister devices like disproportionate considerations and equitable treatment. The L&D has been constituted in response to the worsening condition in Northern Nigeria, a region that has been plagued by endemic poverty, illiteracy, religious and ethnic conflict, unemployment, insecurity, and the collapse of key institutions.
It is not in doubt that the North is currently under siege. Our dear region is not only being viciously attacked by bandits, terrorists, and kidnappers, but by sinister devices like disproportionate considerations and inequitable political treatments. I do admit that some policies of the current administrations are repugnant and adverse to our interests as a region.
Now to the stories. Oyo State government has assured residents of the state that the 2025 budget, when passed into law and approved, will cater to the improvement of the welfare and ensure continued economic stability and growth of the state. The State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Professor Musba Babatunde, gave this assurance while giving a breakdown and analysis of the proposed 2025 budget of 638,086,767,332 naira and 18 kobo, tagged Budget of Economic Stabilization, at a media party held at the conference room of the Ministry of Finance. Babatunde said that the highlight of the budget are testament to the fiscal transparency and accountability of the government.
Projected personnel costs of 172 billion 399,824,055 naira 93 kobo, and that represents 25.42% of the expenditure figure. Then you have that's actually because the minimum wage has been increased from 30,000 to 80,000, while the consequential adjustment is being worked out.
He assured that the government will not increase taxes but go after tax defaulters and also bring more people into the tax net with the view of improving revenue generation.
With that of the National Chart of Accounts, and then the sectoral allocations that we actually have, we have the desire to reflect the economy, to unlock private investment, to stimulate effective demand, and accelerate economic growth and achieve sustainable development. Because if you look at the current macroeconomic challenges going on in Nigeria,
Ogun State government has handed over the 250-bed state-owned hospital located along the Presidential Boulevard in Abeokuta, the state capital, handing over the specialist hospital to Viewpoint Health Management Services Limited, an African Capital Holdings. In its office, said that the hospital would commence partial operations in March next year, while full operations would commence by the middle of the year. The specialist hospital is one of the uncompleted projects of the Bikmole Amusu administration, which is currently about 65% complete and is expected to provide world-class health services to Nigerians when completed. The project is being handed over to development partners who are present here towards strengthening the healthcare sector in the state, provide specialist care to those who seek it.
This project would not have been possible without his dedication to ensuring Ogun residents receive the care they deserve at the right time and in the right place. His Excellency's commitment to transforming health sector has paved the way for innovative collaborations like this, which are now setting the new benchmark for health systems across Nigeria. This is in alignment with His Excellency the President Bola Tinubu's Nigeria Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative.
The state governor, Akwa Abiodun, will lead other members of the State Executive Council at the handing over ceremony, said the specialist hospital would be equipped with the state-of-art facilities and commence full operation in the next 7 months and would be affiliated with the Bojo Medical Center of Excellence.
Viewpoint will complete all civil works. They will reconfigure this facility. They will provide all other required additional equipment. They will staff. They will manage this hospital to ensure the hospital operates in line with global best practices. This hospital is scheduled for partial opening, as explained by Tony, in March 2025 and full opening in June 2025. This flexibility and this partnership underscores the responsiveness of this administration.
The development partners will express their commitment towards providing the much impetus towards reducing medical tourism in the country, commended the governor for his purposeful leadership towards ensuring the success of the project.
Welcome from all of you today. We're having conversations around the need to renovate and refurbish the 250-bed hospital down the road. The kind of support we've received from His Excellency and members of his team, the Commissioner for Health, the Office of the PPP, the Commissioner for Finance, has been very, very interesting for us, and it has actually given us the courage to go through this.
Done a financial model. The market study showed a good location and a big demand for the hospital. We done a financial model that showed it is viable. We put together the business plan, and we'll now be very keen, and we will be involved in doing the commissioning of the hospital as quick as possible, with the aim to get everything done to full operations within 6 months and open some of the services after about 4 months.
Now, we will also enter.
Hello and welcome to the Foreign News. The U.S. and some other Western embassies in Kyiv said that they would stay closed for security reasons, with the American delegation saying it had received a warning of a potentially significant Russian air attack on the Ukrainian capital. The precautionary step came after Russian officials promised a response to President Joe Biden's decision to let Ukraine strike targets on Russian soil with US-made missiles, a move that angered the Kremlin. The U.S. Embassy said its closure and attack warning were issued in the context of ongoing Russian missile and drone attacks on Kyiv and anticipated a quick return to regular operations. The Italian and Greek embassies also shut to the public for the day, but the UK government said that its embassy remained open. The war, which reached its 1,000-day milestone on Tuesday, has taken on a growing international dimension with the arrival of North Korean troops to help Russia on the battlefield, a development which U.S. officials said prompted Biden's policy shift. Russian President Vladimir Putin subsequently lowered the threshold for using his nuclear arsenal, with a new doctrine announced permitting a potential nuclear response by Moscow even to a conventional attack on Russia by any nation that is supported by a nuclear power. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed to give Ukraine anti-personnel landmines, a U.S. defense official told newsmen. A move seen as an attempt to slow Russian troops who have been steadily advancing in Ukraine's east in recent months. The official, who was speaking on condition of anonymity, said such mines would be delivered soon, and Washington expected that they would be used on Ukraine's territory. Ukraine was also committed to not using the mines in densely populated areas, the official said. Separately, the U.S. State Department said it would close its embassy in Kyiv after it received specific information of a potential significant air attack on 20th November. The embassy had previously issued similar warnings of potential air attacks at New Year and around Ukraine's Independence Day, August. Overnight, both Ukraine and Russia reported major drone attacks on their respective territories. It was not immediately known whether there were any casualties. The provision of anti-personnel landmines is the latest move by the outgoing U.S. administration to bolster Ukraine's war effort before Donald Trump returned to the White House on 20th of January. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has from Gaza, and those that help free Israelis held by Hamas will be given a way out of the war-torn Palestinian territory. Netanyahu announced a reward offer during a brief visit to Gaza, where he was shown the Israeli military Netzarim corridor, a key access road and buffer zone connected by Israel's army to dissect northern Gaza from the southern part. Israel estimates that 101 captives remain in Gaza, though around one-third of that number are now believed to have died, demanding that the Prime Minister reach a ceasefire deal with Hamas that will see their loved ones freed. Netanyahu has repeatedly said that a military option is the only way to free all the captives, and Israel's war in Gaza will continue until objective has been achieved. Still on foreign news, scuffles broke out in Georgia's capital as police broke up a camp set up in protest against the disputed results of last month's parliamentary election. Police moved in to remove the camp, which blocked a main thoroughfare in the capital, Tbilisi, before thousands of people later returned to re-establish the camp. The round-the-clock protest was spurred by the October 26 election that saw the governing Georgian Dream Party remain in power. Opponents say the vote was rigged and suspect neighboring Russia influence. Many Georgians viewed the election as a referendum of the country's effort to join the European Union. Several protesters were detained as police moved to disperse the camp, according to newsmen. Some demonstrators displayed EU flags. Up to 1,000 protesters remained at the site, and the crowd swelled to several thousand in the evening. Demonstrators again set up camp in the area. Ellen Kostaria, leader of Coalition for Change, which unites several opposition parties, said the demonstration would continue. President Salome, who has rejected official results, filed a lawsuit on Tuesday at the Constitutional Court, arguing that two fundamental principles guaranteed by the Constitution, the secrecy of the vote and its universality, were violated. A court in Pakistan granted bail to jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan in a case relating to the illegal sale of state gifts, his party said on Wednesday. Khan, 71, has been in prison since August last year, but it was not immediately clear if the embattled politician will be released, given that he faces a number of other cases too, including inciting violence against the state. The case, in which he was granted bail on Wednesday by the Islamabad High Court, is known as the Toshakhana or State Treasury case. It has multiple versions and charges that all revolve around allegations that Khan and his wife illegally procured and then sold gifts worth more than 150 million rupees in state possession, which he received during his 2018 to 2022 premiership. Previously, Khan and his wife Bushara Bibi were both handed a 14-year sentence on the same charges. That came after a 3-year sentence handed to him late 2023 in another version of the same case. Their sentences has been suspended in appeals at the High Court. Both deny any wrongdoing and allege the cases are politically motivated to keep Khan in jail. The gift included diamond jewelry and 7 watches, 6 of them Rolexes, the most expensive being valued at 85 million rupees. Khan's wife was released last month after being in the same prison as Khan for months. And finally, on foreign news, prominent Ugandan opposition politician Kizza Besigye has been kidnapped in neighboring Kenya and taken to a military jail in Uganda, according to his wife. Winnie Byanyima, the executive director of the United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, called on the Ugandan government in a post on X to release her husband immediately. He was kidnapped last Saturday while he was in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, to attend a book launch event of another politician, according to Byanyima. The Ugandan government and military have not commented on the incident. Besigye is scheduled to appear before a military court on Wednesday, one of his lawyers said. Ugandan police spokesperson Kituma Rusuke told newsmen that the police do not have him and cannot comment on his whereabouts. Kori Singoi, Kenyan's Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary, told local media that Kenya was not involved in the alleged incident. In July, Kenyan authorities arrested 36 members of Basic Forum for Democratic Change Party, one of Uganda's main opposition groups. They were then deported to Uganda, where they were indicated on charges related to terrorism. Besigye has been arrested numerous times over the years. He was once a personal doctor for Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni during the country's rebel-led war, but later became an outspoken critic and political component. He ran against Museveni, who has ruled the East African country since 1986 4 times. He lost all the elections but rejected the results and alleged fraud and voter intimidation. That's all we have on the foreign news.
Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Oye.
The highly anticipated Lagos International Theatre Festival was held at the Royal Box Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos, from 15th to 17th November, leaving attendees in awe. The spectacular event showcased the evolution of Nigeria's entertainment industry, mesmerizing the audience with outstanding performances. The festival attracted A-list celebrities, including renowned actors, actresses, artists, and industry professionals. In an exclusive interview, veteran actor Segun Arinze expressed his excitement and satisfaction with the festival's lineup.
Evening, I like to see stage plays. It's been long since stage play, and I'm actually itching to go on stage again. I started from stage. Remember those who used to do God Not to Blame? The things fell apart on stage. You did A Husband Has Gone Mad Again. Done quite a number of plays on stage. Air Force Sutherland's Edufa, The Marriage of Anansewa. I've done quite a lot of plays on stage. So I'm looking forward to rekindling that this time.
Other celebrities, including Jide Kosoko, Dakore Egbuson, shared their admiration and gratitude for the event's convener, Bolanle Austin Peters.
Oh, cool. It's a very welcome one. We are here for the maiden edition of Lagos International Theatre Festival, a program that will continue to promote African stories. Okay, yes. And it's on an annual basis, and this is the maiden edition, and I'm happy to be part of it. Look, I will rather want to say that Bolanle Austin Peters is doing well. Putting this together, it's an initiative that will help the continuous development of the industry. It's a work of idea.
I think definitely Nigeria has evolved regardless of whatever is going on, especially like with government and support and all of that. We didn't need government support to start, and it's not government support that's going to, push. What they should do, I think, is to help us in terms of legislature, making sure we have the safeguards and the guidelines for practitioners, and that's really what we need. We need proper structure, and that's really what you need government for. And then maybe to also, give us some support in terms of making sure we can have like international treaties, distributorship, and all of that stuff. I mean, you have countries actually working together to create one film. So why, but the Nigerian government, they should help us out. It would be nice, but if they don't, well, we'll be okay. Well, I have high expectations, of course, but, it's because of, who is at the helm, Madam Bolanle Austin Peters, she does everything with a spirit of excellence that I really admire. So I'm just excited, and I'm waiting with bated breath.
Cheers echoed through the venue, solidifying the festival's reputation as a one-of-a-kind experience.
Yeah.